Breaking news. The Los Angeles Chargers are officially back in action. The Hall of Fame game is here. And for both fans, this isn't just a preseason opener. It's the first battlefield for roster dreams, breakout moments, and real consequences heading into the 2025 season. Who will rise? Who will fall? And which young Chargers are ready to shock the league from day one? But before we dive into the latest news, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and don't forget to smash the bell icon so you never miss a single Chargers update this season. Let's jump into it. Your full preview of Chargers vs. Lions at the Hall of Fame game starts now. Last year's preseason opener wasn't about the final score. It was about what the Chargers learned. That game against Seattle, a tough loss on paper, but a revealing look into the depth of the roster. And that's exactly what we're likely to see again in this Hall of Fame matchup. If we rewind to that game, the quarterback room was in flux. A three-way battle unfolded between Luis Perez, Easton Stick, and Max Duggan. Stick and Perez split most of the action, while Duggan's opportunity came and went fast. It was clear then, and it's clear now, that the battle behind Justin Herbert is no small detail. At running back, it was names like Jarrett Patterson and Elijah Dotson getting the touches, guys buried deep on the depth chart. Patterson's still around, and don't be surprised if he's the one getting early carries in this opener too. When it came to receivers, the spotlight was far from the stars. Instead, we saw players like Simi Fehoko, Jalen Johnson, and tight end Stone Smart fighting to get noticed. These aren't household names, but preseason is where names are made, and that's what makes these games matter. On defense, it wasn't just rookies or reserves. Tuli Tuipulotu got snaps. Dean Leonard was out there. Even guys like Nick Neiman and JT Woods saw the field. It's that unexpected rotation that reminds us. Every rep in preseason is a test, and every test could shift someone's future. That's what the Hall of Fame game brings. Not a showcase of starters, but a battlefield of opportunity. And if history is any indicator, the Chargers will use this moment to evaluate who's ready to rise when the lights come on. Here's the reality of preseason football. Not everyone's a household name, but every single rep matters. With a 90-man roster heading into training camp, the Chargers aren't just testing plays, they're testing people. And in the Hall of Fame game, it's all about giving everyone a shot. Whether you're a rookie, a camp invite, or a second-year player trying to stick, this is your stage. The coaching staff knows what they've got in the starters. But these early preseason games, they're a spotlight for the unknown. Expect to see deep cuts from the roster, players fighting for a future. That means heavy rotation at every position. Quarterbacks battling for the backup job, running backs trying to prove they belong, and receivers who know that one great catch could change everything. Look no further than last year's preseason opener. The Chargers didn't play it safe. They gave reps to the entire depth chart, letting the competition speak for itself. It wasn't about a win or a loss. It was about finding answers. This year, expect the same. It's not about who starts. It's about who steps up. Because in these games, you're not just playing football, you're playing for your career. When you watch the Hall of Fame game, you're not just watching football, you're watching futures being decided in real time. That's exactly why we're diving into which specific Chargers players you should be watching closely. Because every snap is a chance to prove something. And for some of these guys, it might be their only one. Let's start with one of the most intriguing storylines this preseason, the backup quarterback battle. All eyes have shifted toward Trey Lance. Once a high-profile draft pick elsewhere, Lance is now trying to carve out a fresh identity in Los Angeles, and he's doing it with quiet determination. At training camp, his arm strength and mobility have started to turn heads. This is a guy who's not just taking snaps, he's fighting to earn trust. Then there's DJ Uiagalelei, a name that made waves in college and landed in LA as an undrafted free agent. While he's still raw, the flashes of playmaking ability are undeniable. He's hungry, and the Hall of Fame game gives him a rare spotlight. Don't be surprised if both Lance and DJ get extended time on the field. Every drive, every throw, every decision will matter. Behind Justin Herbert, the competition isn't about comfort, it's about capability. And this is just the beginning. These players aren't just trying to impress fans, They're trying to make a case to the coaches, to the locker room, and to the league. This game? For them, it's everything. The more you watch, the more it hits you. Trey Lance might really be in this thing. What started as a distant thought has quietly turned into a real conversation. QB2 is no longer a lock. Lance has looked sharp in camp. His throws are crisp. The confidence is there. And something about his presence just feels different this time. When you rewind the tape and realize it's him making that perfect sideline throw, that's not just encouraging, it's a statement. Sure, Taylor Heinicke brings experience, and he's still the frontrunner. But the Chargers have a history of giving second chances to players written off elsewhere and turning them into difference makers. Lance could be next on that list. And if there's ever a time to make his move, the Hall of Fame game is it. Now, let's talk about another intriguing figure, Nyheim Hines. Yes, he's new. Yes, it feels strange seeing his name next to the Bolt. But don't let that fool you. Hines is a weapon. A true dual-threat back who's shown flashes throughout his career with the Colts and Bills. And now, in LA, he's walking into a wide-open running back room. The competition is heating up behind the starters. Guys like Kamani Vidal and Amarian Hampton are right there in the mix. Vidal brings burst and balance. Hampton? Raw power with underrated vision. But Hines adds something different. NFL experience and special teams upside. If healthy, he could immediately pressure the rookies trying to secure those final roster spots. Keep your eyes on him. Even if it's just a few snaps in this game, those moments could define his role on this team moving forward. One thing is clear. The Hall of Fame game won't just be a warm-up. It'll be the first chapter in a fierce roster battle. And it's already getting personal. There's a quiet storm brewing behind the Chargers' starting lineup, and it's coming from the backfield. While all eyes might be on the stars, the real drama is in the depth chart. The running back competition is absolutely loaded, and every single rep in the Hall of Fame game could shift the pecking order. Hassan Haskins has carved out a role on special teams, and that may give him a slight edge in security. But nothing is guaranteed, not in this room. Rocket Sanders, fresh off his return to full-speed drills, brings that rare mix of size, speed, and explosiveness. He hasn't had many chances yet, but this game could be his runway. Then there's Kamani Vidal, slippery, shifty, and incredibly difficult to bring down. He already turned heads last preseason, and now he's back to prove it wasn't a fluke. Expect him to get meaningful touches, and don't be shocked if he makes the most of them. This isn't just depth. This is real competition. Now let's shift to a name that's dominating camp buzz, Oronde Gadsden. Call him a tight end. Call him a slot weapon. Call him what you want. Gadsden has looked legit. Reliable hands, fluid routes, and building real chemistry with Justin Herbert. He's not just flashing. He's forcing his way into the conversation. The tight end room has quietly evolved. Last year felt uncertain. This year feels balanced. With Tyler Conklin expected to anchor the group, the spotlight shifts to emerging talent like Gadsden and Steve O. Klotz, a hybrid fullback/tight end from Iowa State who brings versatility in the passing game and surprising agility. Klotz gives the Chargers a creative piece, someone who can block, catch, and move in space. Think of him as a modern utility weapon, the kind of player that fits perfectly into a system looking to keep defenses guessing. As the roster takes shape, these aren't just camp bodies, they're legitimate contenders. And in games like this, it's often the guys outside the spotlight who steal the show. The tight end battle doesn't end with the top names, it runs deep. And one name that deserves attention is Jordan Patia. He may not be as familiar to casual fans, but this international prospect out of Australia has been steadily climbing the radar. Raw talent, no doubt, but with his size and athleticism, he's the kind of player who can surprise you in a game like this. If he gets reps in the Hall of Fame game, pay close attention. These are the matchups where hidden gems emerge. Now, let's move over to wide receiver and buckle in, because this group is stacked with storylines. Starting with rookies Trey Harris and Caden Lambert-Smith KLS. While Harris might be eased in due to workload and rotation, there's still a chance he's given a drive or two to showcase that physicality and hands. Don't expect a full showcase, but if he's out there, even briefly, it'll be must-watch. KLS, on the other hand, has been electric in camp. His speed, his footwork, his ability to stretch the field vertically, it's all been on display. He may not be a starting caliber guy yet, but the Chargers seem to be scheming things up just for him. He's the kind of receiver that can completely flip a preseason game with one big play. Paired with Trey Lance or DJU at quarterback, could be fireworks. Then there's Luke Grimm, a smooth, fluid route runner who brings quiet efficiency. He's been working through minor issues in camp, but when he's healthy, he's a technician. His tape from college speaks for itself, and this game could give him that platform to reintroduce himself. Whether he's fighting for a roster spot or aiming to secure a practice squad role, his reps matter. And of course, Brendan Rice. The name alone carries weight, but it's not just legacy, it's the work he's been putting in. While his camp performance has been a bit up and down, flashes of brilliance are still there. He's still in the mix, still pushing, and this Hall of Fame game could be a moment of redemption. Chargers fans are still rooting hard for him, and if he gets into rhythm early, he could remind everyone why he generated so much hype last year. Last but not least, Delvin Campbell, an under-the-radar signing who's suddenly making noise. He's been a quiet standout at practice, wearing number 38. Keep your eyes peeled. He's got solid route discipline, and the staff clearly wants to see more. Every one of these wideouts is fighting for something: snaps, roles, contracts, or simply respect. That's what makes this game different. It's not about the stars. It's about the grind. There's something brewing beneath the surface with Delvin Campbell. He's not just making plays, he's making noise. The kind that turns heads in meeting rooms and earns reps on game day. With his size and burst, Campbell is a name that could start on the practice squad and finish the season much higher on the depth chart. The opportunity is real, and this Hall of Fame game could be the start of that climb. Now let's talk trenches, because games aren't won by flash alone. The Chargers' offensive line depth is going to be tested throughout preseason, and this game is a perfect litmus test. One name to highlight: Carson Barnhart. His development has been steady, and now's the time for him to take the next step. Whether he lines up at guard or tackle, these reps matter. Behind him, there's a wave of young, hungry talent. Nash Jones, showing raw power. Branson Taylor, the rookie from Pittsburgh, still learning but flashing upside. Even Trey Pipkins could see action as a swing piece, the kind of versatility coaches love. And keep an eye on the interior line. The Chargers need that position solidified. Whether it's Andre James getting extra reps to anchor the middle, or lesser-known names like Josh Koltenberger trying to earn a jersey, the fight in the trenches will be fierce. Then on defense, a few quiet names could make a loud statement. Start with R.J. Mickens, a ball-hawking defensive back from Clemson, now wearing number 27. His instincts jump off the screen. To get him late in the draft was a steal, and this game could be where fans first see that value up close. He may not just be a preseason standout, he might push for real playing time in the regular season if this trajectory continues. And then there's Nico Reed out of Oregon. How he went undrafted is still a mystery to some. He's not the biggest, but he's quick, confident, and physical in coverage. Slot corner? Nickel packages? That's his lane. If the Chargers can refine his tools, they may have found another diamond in the rough. These aren't just filler names on a long roster. They're the foundation pieces of a deeper, stronger Chargers team. And every snap in this game could shape the final 53. Some players fly under the radar until they don't. One of the most intriguing names emerging in camp is Tre'Quan Bridges. He's a towering defensive back with legit length and physicality, the kind of frame that draws comparisons to past Chargers greats. He's been quietly stacking strong days, and now he's positioned to grab attention under the lights. If he keeps this up, Bridges might not just make the roster, he could play meaningful snaps by midseason. Another big body to watch is Jamari Caldwell, along the defensive front. He's got the frame, he's got the motor, and most importantly, he's got something to prove. The interior defensive line is still finding its identity, and Caldwell has a shot to help anchor it. With players like Tart, Otito Ogbonnia, Scott Matlock, and Poona Ford rotating in, this group has the potential to become one of the most physical units on the roster, and there's more buzz swirling. Don't be surprised if the Chargers explore adding even more firepower on the interior, especially with recent shakeups around the league. Depth wins in December, and this team knows it. On the edge, the rotation remains one of the true strengths of this defense. Enter Kyle Kennard, a name you might not know yet, but probably will soon. He's got the traits to make plays in space, and the hunger to climb the depth chart. Last year, it was Tuli Tuipulotu making waves as a rookie. This year, Kennard has a shot to be the next man up behind Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. What makes the edge group so lethal isn't just the starters, it's the depth. Guys like Tremon Morris-Brash and Ty Shelby are also pushing hard. Every snap counts when the competition is this fierce. So when the Hall of Fame game kicks off, the final score might not matter much. What does matter? The names you'll remember after the final whistle. The players who turn reps into roles. The moments that separate a camp body from a contributor. It's more than preseason. It's a proving ground. And this Chargers roster has a lot of hungry talent ready to show they belong.